Now, how do you curate your environment for success? You decide what is in your world. Nobody else does. Nobody wakes you up in the morning and turns on the TV to the news. Nobody feeds you the fast food. Nobody tells you, listen to this freaking TV show and waste your time. Sit on this couch. Eat that ice cream. Come out and drink at the bar. Nobody tells you what to do besides you. You are an adult. So curate your life by deciding what actually belongs in your life. Welcome to the Vet Rise podcast. I'm your host, Juan Perez. My goal is to make success after service accessible to every veteran in society. I believe in the power of leveraging your service, not as a label that defines you, but as a launching pad for your next chapter. What we have been doing has not been working, and it's on us to start changing the culture. Enjoy the episode, and thank you for your time. Welcome to another episode of the Vet Rise podcast. This is the first episode I record in the new studio, and it feels different. Why? It feels like a real podcast. I'm not sitting at my desk. I'm not staring at my monitor. I'm staring at a camera. And I have all these lights around me, and I'm committing to doing this at least once a week, and I'll tell you why. Well, it's therapeutic, not just for me, but for you guys. Why? Because I've heard from a lot of you recently. Somebody told me that they binged 15 of my episodes as they were driving on the road the other day, and it meant a lot to me. It means that you guys are enjoying the content. It means that you guys are taking it in, and I'm going to keep doing it. And now that we have this new setup, by the way, big shout out to Sam. I'm going to open this can, see if it's loud. Ooh, hopefully it wasn't loud. Big shout out to Sam for setting up the entire studio, and then he moved to Montana. So I miss him. He's my operations manager. For those of you that don't know, he's one of the reasons we are so successful and why we have grown to the size that we are now, because he continues to find ways to blow everything out of the water and impress me with everything that he does. So we definitely miss him, but this is all about growth. So I'm happy that he was able to move to where he needed to move, and he's still working for us. So he's still absolutely part of the Vet Rise systems, and we're going to just keep going. So again, I'm committing to doing this once a week because I miss it, because now this feels a little bit more real. Even though I think we are on episode, I think at 112 at this point. I think this is the first time that it feels a little bit real, because it's actually a podcast setup. And honestly, this setup has been here for, holy crap, it's been here for about a month. I think. No, it's been here for about 3 weeks. And I haven't used it. Now, the reason I haven't used it is because I didn't want to suck at it. I didn't want to fail. I didn't want something to be off with it. I didn't want the new setup to be something that held me back once I did it. And then maybe I didn't know how to set up the camera, or the monitor wasn't working right, or X, Y, or Z. It doesn't matter what it was. But basically, if I didn't try, it'd be very easy for me to say that I'll get to it when I have time. But you see, time doesn't just expand for you when you want it, when you think that you need it. Time will always be linear, meaning that you have to create that time by choosing what you want to remove from what is taking up your time. Today is my son's birthday, and I still did a coaching call with my coaches this morning. I sent out a little bit of love to my clients right after that. I had an amazing day with my kids. I was present. I was away from the phone. My mom took pictures. And now my kids are both sleeping, which opens me up to be able to do this, because this is my time. And instead of me sitting on my couch watching TV, relaxing, I'd rather do this. Why? This moves the needle. This makes a difference. This is me doing something that will get me closer to my goals. Now, what we talked about this morning in the coaching call with my coaches was all about assessment and then realignment. Assess where you are at. And that's what I want to talk about today. Now, it's not just about assessing where you're at physically. It is about looking at the big picture of your life and asking yourself, is this where I thought I would be at this point in my life? And if it's not, then do something about it. Do something about it. Assess your life. Look at your health, wealth, relationship, and self. Are you at the weight that you want to be? Do you feel comfortable taking your shirt off? Are you getting winded when you're trying to take the kids up the stairs? Are you having a hard time keeping up with your son as he plays soccer? Wealth. Are you financially stable? Do you make good money decisions? Are you capable of doing more and you're holding back because you're scared? Are your ambitions the reason why you actually need to start doing the things that you said you were going to do? Relationships. Are you showing up for the people in your life? Are you attracting the right type of friends? Are you removing the negative people from your life? Are you making sure that you are pouring into the people that love you and the people that you committed to pouring into? Self. Are you taking care of yourself? Not just with your workouts, not just with your nutrition, but with your mindset, with your you time. Do you love yourself? Do you take the time to do things for yourself? Self-care can look like a lot of different things. But if you are not completely and utterly in love with who you are, then you are lacking in this area. And here's the thing, guys, it's not a bad thing to be aware of this. It means that you can do something about it. When you realize that you are lacking in one of these areas, it is a gift. It is the self-awareness that you need to start doing something about it. It is the self-awareness that you need to actually implement something. Be alert, be awake. Make a decision to do something about it. And rate yourself from 1 to 10 on each one of these areas. And then score up that number. And if it is below 30 overall total, you have some work to do. Now decide what area you want to tackle first, because we cannot do everything at once. There's a reason why when people come into my program, we start simply with the workouts, and then we build to the meal planning, and then we work towards a calendar, and then we dial in the habits and the routines. Because it's not an all in or all out mentality. It's an approach that we take for a reason, because it is proven time and time over again, that focusing for growth isn't just about doing the one thing or the two things. It is about removing distractions. And when you try and overhaul your entire life, more than likely what will happen is you will quit because you're trying to take on too many things at once and it's not working, because maybe you're not doing really well with the meal prep. Maybe you keep having a drink late at night. And when this happens, then you feel like you are failing in every area. So identify the one area that is the lowest number for you. Which one was a 3? Which one was a 4? And then double down on that. Double down on making a change in that area. And that can look like anything. It can look like you understand that you rated yourself really low on the self. Maybe it was a 3, maybe it was a 2. So that means that on the calendar, on your schedule, you have to put something for you. Maybe you sign up for jiu-jitsu. Maybe you join to a running group. Maybe you prepare for a marathon. Maybe you start picking up a hobby. Maybe you take yourself on date night. Maybe you start dating again. Start putting yourself first. A lot of people think that it is selfless to always volunteer and give and give and give. I think that it is selfish because then you can just ignore your problems. And we are so much better at giving people advice than we are taking it, at taking it. A lot of people think that it is selfless to always say yes to somebody when they need you. It's selfish, in my opinion, because it feels good, because it makes us feel like we are of use. It makes us feel like we are doing something productive for someone. Maybe because in the military, we learned that to be of use and to be useful was to be worth something. So if we feel like we say no to people, it feels like maybe they're going to see us as useless. And that is a scary thing to look at. So identify which one of those 4 areas needs your most attention and then do something about it. Join a gym, hire a coach, devote 2 to 3 hours a day on something specific that you want to change, especially if right now you are single with no kids, because the time is yours. And if you do have kids, or if you are not single, who says that you can't involve them in your growth? Let them be a witness to the changes that you are making and the things that you are declaring you are going to change in your life. Who says that you have to do it alone? To me, all 4 are just as important. And if I have one area that is an 8 and another area that is a 2, to me, that lowers the number of the 8, because how is it that you can succeed in one area while you ignore another? We do this because if we are succeeding in one area, it's so easy to ignore the area that we're not doing well in. It is so easy to tell ourselves, well, that can wait. But if you are succeeding in your wealth, it opens up your bandwidth to be able to focus on the self. It opens up your bandwidth to actually do something about your health. It opens up the bandwidth to be able to actually focus on your relationships and put forth effort and love. So I want to encourage you guys. Don't feel like you have to just remove everyone from your life and go into this silent mode. Make the decision that you are going to remove the negativity from your life. Whatever that looks like. It could be people, it could be habits, it could be places, it could be your job, it could be even be family. But you're deciding who gets removed. It's not everybody. And if it is everybody, then you need to make better decisions because you are bringing the wrong people around you in your life. I don't care if it's family or friends. Not everybody is entitled to be in your life. You decide. And I have had family that I have cut off. I have had friends that I've removed from my life, from my circle. And that's okay. So if you are deciding to go into this stage of change, this era of evolution, understand that it's going to take a while. Change doesn't happen overnight. But the decision to flip that switch, to make an impact, to change your trajectory, that can't happen in an instant. It is yours. It is a gift. Nobody tells you how hard it is because nobody is willing to do it. And the people that have done it, they understand how hard it is. But because they are actively working on their mindset, they don't sit there and complain and bitch and moan and tell the whole world how hard this journey is because they're in it. They're doing it. They are a participant in their life. Become a participant in your own life. So as you wrote these numbers down, and maybe you gave yourself a 4 for health, and a 5 for wealth, and a 7 for relationships because you feel like you always give everything to everyone, and a 3 for self. The new issue here is that you are lying to yourself about that relationship number. It's not as high as you think. And maybe you are giving it that high number because all the other numbers are so low that you cannot be honest with yourself and identify that you have been over volunteering in every thing and everyone and with every single aspect of your life. And here is the dangerous part about that. As you over volunteer in every area of your life, you will eventually start to resent those people that you are giving and you are pouring into. Why? Because they don't know how much you are giving and pouring in, because to them, this is the baseline. This is what you have created. This is what is acceptable because of the way that you've been in the past. And you are also taking away from what they could do, because you're always the one that solves everything. You're always the one that shows up. You're always the one that people call. So people don't want to take on that challenge because they know that you can do it. They can call John. They can call Tiffany. They can call Eddie. And guess what? Eddie will answer. And he will be there. And you have built this idea of who you are that is always there for people. And that is how you get your identity. That is how you feel a little bit of purpose, a little bit of mission in this life. And it's a lie. It is a lie that you have constructed because you've been ignoring all the real fucking shit that you got to do, all the real fucking shit that's going on with you. And it's so easy to ignore when you think that you are doing well in one area, when you think that you are succeeding in one area. So be honest with yourself. Do a real assessment. And if you have to redo the numbers that you put on that piece of paper, redo them right now. And if you're driving, pull over to the side of the road. Show yourself how important this is to you. And then the lowest number, focus on that for the next week. Focus on this for the next week. And then let me know how you're doing. Send me a message. I'm on social media. I want to know what you are actively working on. I want to know what decision you have made. I want to know what action you have taken. Hire a coach. Join a gym. Throw out all the nasty freaking crappy food in your fridge that you keep there. Quit the smoking. Slow down the drinking. Or why not just quit the drinking for a season? Remove people from your life. Start triple checking your bank account every morning before you make a purchase. Start getting the certifications that you need at work to get to the next level. Put in for that job. Ask the girl out. File for divorce. Move cities. Cut off your friends. You see, I went hard right there. That one probably stopped you. Now, why is it that people are willing to do the first 7, but the last 3 that I just mentioned kind of makes them think a little bit? Because those are the ones that really will make a fucking difference. Those are the ones that people are scared of doing. The hard thing. Well, if I file for divorce, I'm going to blow my life up. Your life is already miserable as it is. If I move out of my parents' basement, I'm going to have to figure out how to do my life on my own. Guess what? Eventually you will anyway. Well, if I quit my job or I cut off friends, I'm going to lose all the people that I have in my life. And, I don't know if I can find something else. Fucking create it. Find better friends. A lot of people have recently been commenting on Facebook on my videos and on my posts. And to be honest with you, I don't read those anymore just because it honestly is a waste of time. Why? Because I don't want any negativity around me or in my life. And that's what Facebook has become. There's a lot of fake profiles and a lot of profiles in general. But it does fire me up. Why? Because honestly, those are not the people that I'm trying to influence or change. It's the guy, it's the gal that are going through it right now, and they need these words. They need someone to speak power into them. They need someone to tell them, you might not be where you want to be, but you can do something about it. Just because it's always been one way doesn't mean that's the way it should be. Just because veteran society for the longest has been angry and they hold all this resentment doesn't mean that that's how it should be. It is not that I am against the military or I want veterans to do better just because I'm trying to instill this idea of who I am. It's because I've been through it. It's because I've been there. I've been overweight. I used to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. I used to take the streets home instead of the highway because I knew that there was 2 McDonald's on the way home and one of them was bound to have the ice cream machine working. I've been there. I know what it's like. I've been through 2 divorces. I've lived out of a bedroom in my house, feeling like I was a prisoner in my own world. I've been depressed. I've been in the darkest of places that anyone can imagine. And I came out of it with systems, with determination, and not just discipline. People freaking love that word discipline, and they think that they can just turn it on in a moment's notice when they leave the military because they could do it in the military. I want to give you a little bit of a news flash. That is a lie. You cannot just turn on discipline. You have to have something behind it that will be the thing that keeps you going when you don't want to. And it's not discipline. It's a different D word. It's devotion. Are you devoted to the process? Are you devoted to permanent change? Are you devoted to actually working, changing, evolving out of your current situation? You got to be devoted. It has to be your mission. Focus on that. Because with devotion comes passion. With passion comes energy and intensity and internal inspiration. And guess what? Discipline is what it leads to. And the motivation will be the thing that pops up here and there when you need it, when you create it by curating your environment for success. Now, how do you curate your environment for success? You decide what is in your world. Nobody else does. Nobody wakes you up in the morning and turns on the TV to the news. Nobody feeds you the fast food. Nobody tells you, listen to this freaking TV show and waste your time. Sit on this couch. Eat that ice cream. Come out and drink at the bar. Nobody tells you what to do besides you. You are an adult. So curate your life by deciding what actually belongs in your life. What do you want in your life? What do you tolerate in your life? What standards do you have? What life do you want to live? What is your why? And we'll talk about why in a second. We'll come back to that one. But curate your life. Who says that you can't have a better life? Who says that you can't want more? Who says that you can't dream bigger than you have ever dreamed in the past? Who says? Nobody. Nobody does. Nobody does. So curate your life. Wake up in the morning, grab your water that you put there the night before with a pinch of sea salt and a little bit of lemon juice, drink it, walk your happy ass to the shower, turn it on for 3 minutes, get in. Listen to some motivational podcast or listen to a motivational video on YouTube. Set the tone for the day by starting your day, not just on the right foot, but on the right goddamn path. I promise you, you will have a better day if you do this. Curate your day. When you do this enough, you will realize you are more powerful than you've ever thought you were. You will feel the drive to start curating your week. How do you curate your week? Look at your day to day. Take everything that you need to do and want to do and put it on your calendar. And when you do this, set it to repeat. If you show me your calendar, I will tell you what you care about. If you don't go to an event, it's because you didn't care about it. If you don't show up for yourself, it's because you don't care about yourself. If you don't put your workouts and your meal prep and your gym time and everything on your calendar that needs to be there, it's not going to happen. And therefore, it's not important to you. Now, this is when people get triggered and they say, well, you don't understand. I have a harder life. And let that be the reason why you will succeed. You don't understand. Like, I've been through it. And in spite of that, you should want more. You don't understand. My situation is just fucked up. Then change it. Do something about it. Make the hard decision. November of 2022. November of 2022. That's when I decided that I had to make a big change in my life. For about a year, I had been working undercover with the Chicago Police Department, and it was taken away. They disbanded the unit, and we ended up on the trains, and I went from doing undercover work and buying heroin on the west side of Chicago to arresting people for not paying their train fare. And it didn't sit right with me. It didn't sit right with me. I knew that I wanted more, and I knew that I had poured into this department, poured into the Chicago Police Department with everything that I have. And don't twist my words. I love the CPD. I love my time there. I love my brothers and sisters in blue, and I wouldn't change a thing. But I knew that I had outgrown it. I knew that if I kept doing this, I would lose myself. I knew that if I accepted the reality that I was in and I just gave in and said, well, this is life, I knew that down the road I would resent not just me, but all the people around me, even my kids, everybody around me. And it was my responsibility to do something about it. So I launched my business. All right, let's stop for a minute. This is the part of the episode where I ask you to do me a favor. But it's not a favor for me. It's a favor for your fellow brothers and sisters that served with you. If you know someone that has been struggling, if you know someone that has been going through it right now, and you know that they want better for their life, they just don't know how to do it, please share this episode with them. It might just be exactly what they need. That's it. That's my only ask. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Back to the episode. And in November, I hired a business coach. And I went to an event in Kelowna, Canada. And the first night I was there, I felt like a freaking fish out of water. Everybody there knew each other. Everybody there had been doing this thing. People were making so much money that I thought was just absurd. And they were changing lives. And I felt like a fucking imposter. You feel like an imposter because you haven't done the work yet. You haven't done enough reps. And now that I've done the work, now that I've done all the reps continuously over and over and over again, not because of the goal that I'm trying to get to or the place that I want to be, because the journey is more important. The process is the gift. Now that I am doing that, I don't feel that way anymore. I truly love myself. Every freaking day, I wake up in the morning and I tell myself, I love myself. Today is the best day ever. I get to live. I get to breathe. I get to breathe in this fresh air and hear my heartbeat and be with my kids and look around in this beautiful house that I have rebuilt my way and look around in my beautiful life that I have rebuilt on my terms. And I am so excited and pumped and happy to be able to breathe and live another fucking beautiful day. God damn it. Every day is a gift. And as I was at this event, I went up and I talked to Brian, who is my coach, and I shared my story. And I told him that I'm a cop. I've been doing it for 8 years. And I want to start this business. And I'm here. And I spent every penny that I had to get here. I just paid all this money for your course. And now I'm here. And I spent another couple of $1,000s to fly to Canada, which I never thought I'd be in. And he asked me the one question that I think was the most important question that he could have asked me. Do you want more from life? And I did. And I do. To this day, I still want more. To this day, I'm not slowing down. To this day, I will continue to do the things that actually move the needle. I will continue to change the path to make sure that my trajectory aligns with what I am working towards every single day. And he made me commit. He made me stand on a table right there in front of all these strangers that I've never met before that are doing something that I want to do, that I don't think I can do in the moment. And I had to commit to quit my job within 2 years. Fast forward 2 years. For the last 2 years, we were building and building and building. And it was a hard 2 years. I wasn't able to see my daughter when she was born, and I went through a very tumultuous divorce. And since then, I've done a lot of healing. Since then, I've actually rebuilt the relationship with my ex-wife because it's not just for me or for her, it is for our children. And I want us to be in a good place because we face a lot of challenges ahead, specifically for my son, Oliver. And we do need to face them together. He is our son. And in the past, on past episodes, maybe you've heard me talk bad about my ex-wife. Maybe you heard me talk about the stuff that we went through, that she put me through. I'm not reliving that anymore. I have forgiven and I have worked on forgetting because healing doesn't just look like bandaging it up and stuffing it way down. Healing looks like addressing it. And just because it happened to you doesn't mean that it was right, doesn't mean that it was your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal from it. You can't live in the past. You can't live with the anger. You cannot live with resentment. It won't get you anywhere. And I thoroughly love my life and the people in it and the life I am building and my two beautiful children, Oliver and Luna. And I'm not slowing down because that would mean that I'm slowing them down. And I fucking refuse to do that. I refuse. And during these 2 years, as I was going through this nasty divorce and I was living out of a bedroom, and I share this with you not to relive it, but to explain why when you are in the darkness, you have to create your own light. And that is what I did. I poured into my business. I hired 2 employees. I kept building. I didn't take a paycheck. I put all the money that we received as income from the business back into the business because I knew that November of 2024, I was resigning and I was quitting from my job and I had to go all in on this. But I was actually already all in. I knew that the decision had already been made. As I stood on that table in Kelowna in January of 2023, I knew that this was going to happen. I knew it. The decision had already been made. And because I made a decision to raise that number that I felt in the moment for my health, for my wealth, for my relationships, for myself, which were all probably in the ones or twos, I committed to the process. I didn't drink anymore. I didn't waste time. I went through darkness and I made my own light. And in November, as we just hired on our 3rd employee, and I made a video that I was going to quit my job, everything went wrong. My VA disability wasn't where I was hoping it would be by then. My divorce had thankfully just finalized so I could actually quit my job. But we got shadow banned on TikTok. And we couldn't send any messages. And the reason why this is important is because TikTok was the number one, if not the only one, that was actually bringing us leads, future clients. We were not popular on Instagram. So that meant that the number one source of income for the business right now is, for all intents and purposes, basically shut down. We couldn't message anybody, and nobody could message us. And I had 3 employees at this time. One of them we just hired, and I'm about to quit my job. And this is when people fail. Right here. This is when people take all of this information and they lie to themselves. They convince themselves out of doing the thing that they said they were going to do because of one little fucking hiccup, one little problem. That's all it was. So we got creative. We built another TikTok. We doubled down on IG. We still did the thing that we were going to do. We followed through with it. I quit with $500 in my bank account, not knowing how the hell am I going to pay my employees, knowing that for the next couple of months, I'm not spending a dime. And it worked. Since then, we have tripled in size. Since November, we went from 18,000 followers on TikTok to 35,000 followers, I believe. Since November, we went from 2,000 followers on Instagram to over 32,000 followers on Instagram. Since November, we went from 2,000 followers on Facebook to over 14,000 followers on Facebook. Since November, we went from 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to over 3,000, I believe. And the thing is, people can call it luck. I know that it's work because we actively post at least twice a day. We do all the work. We take time. We built out systems. We work hard at it, but we use our energy towards the right things. I don't waste time in my business. I don't throw grenades into it. I don't find the shiny silver little thing that I'm like, oh, this is the cool thing that I want to do. No. And it's hard. Dude, Jesus Christ, is it fucking hard. I have ADHD. My mind is all over the place. But it's also not hard. Why? Systems, baby. Systems. Everything is systematized. I know when I will make my posts. I know when I will go on IG. I know when I have my coaching calls. I know when I will do my application calls with my client, with my possible clients. I know when I will hit the gym. I know when I have my kids. I know everything because everything is on my calendar. Why? Because it's important to me. I don't just hope that things work out. I don't just wish on a fucking star. I set myself up for success. I don't just hope that things work out. Manifestation is a real thing, and everybody loves to tell you the story of Jim Carrey writing himself $1 million check and putting it in his wallet. And then one day, years down the road, he was able to cash it. But people don't tell you the full story. The full story goes like this. Jim Carrey wrote himself $1 million check. But every single time that he wanted to reach into his wallet and spend money, he saw that check and he would pull it out and he would look at it and it would remind him of why he needs to go to bed instead of staying out late drinking. It would remind him of why he needs to try out for this audition, why he needs to perfect this craft, why he needs to do the things that actually make a difference in his life. And the story goes like this because every single time that he would do that, it was a reminder that to manifest the life that you want, you have to do the work that you said you would do. Stop hoping for shit. Stop wishing for things. Do it. Fuck your mood and follow the plan. Why? Because your mood will follow. I promise you, your mood will follow. And the day that Jim Carrey finally took that check out of his wallet, you couldn't even read the numbers on it because of how often he would pull it out and look at it. That's the full story. Manifestation is not just about hoping that things work out the way that you want them to. Manifestation is about having a freaking dream and a vision and then doing everything that you can that actually aligns with getting there. Live in accordance with your core values and principles. How do you develop those core values and principles? It's actually a lot simpler than you think. Ask yourself who you are. Do an assessment of where you're at. Write down the numbers that you get for health, wealth, relationships, and self. And then take that list and look at it and realize that the only way to make a change is to actually find something that drives you. Find something that fires you up. Have a reason. Find your why. Create your why. Now, I did this exercise 2 years ago. And my why has not only evolved, it has grown, it has changed, it has become this thing that not only keeps me going, but it is the fuel for my fire every single day. I'm going to read you what I wrote down today when I was asked what my why is now. So this right here, I have a notebook in my hand. This is a notebook that was given to me in January of 2022, or 2023, excuse me. And I wrote right here, it fucking starts now. No more tomorrows. And I wrote a couple of things that I want to share with you. Actions to apply with intention. Focus on my veterans who are in the right place to make changes. I cannot help those that do not want change, and I have to share what I've done to help them change. Follow my plan to quit once I hit my 10-year mark. Use every hour meaningfully. It fucking starts now. Not being in momentum is a choice. People should think I am crazy and delusional. I should become unrecognizable on my path that I am on. If you attract broken people will come to you. You attract who you are. I want to be remembered forever. I want to leave a fucking mark on this world. Confidence comes from consistent grinding and never missing. I'm still serving and taking care of others. Be a figure that leads veterans. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I grabbed this notebook again today as I joined my coaches because I want to continue writing in here. And the entries that I have in here are not journal entries. It is the things that I needed to remember and the things that I had to do. And as I flip through it, I see the evolution happening. I see the ideas that I would write. I see the things that I would come up with. And it would change and evolve. And there's a lot of things in here that I don't do anymore, that I have passed off, that I have taught other people to do. And there's a lot of things in here that I don't do anymore because they were not making a difference in the plan that I had. You see, people think that you have to replicate somebody else's plan to the T. You have to find the things that actually work for you and then double down on those. But you find out what works for you by doing everything, by starting, by finding what actually moves the needle for you. And I wrote down a lot of things in this notebook. And then today, I opened it up again. And I started looking at these pages. I'm going to read something to you guys. This is from last year, March. You are not a victim. You are the one that's been through the shit that you've been through, and you will be a victor on the other side of it. You want success, but you avoid the work that will create it. Self-sabotage is a byproduct of you not doing the healing and letting go of your past story. Forgive and let go, or else it will prevent you from continuing through your growth journey. Now, these are just words. And the reason I say that is because I didn't do any of these things then. I talked about healing. I talked about letting go. But I didn't take the actions that I needed to actually do that. And in April of this year, I went to another event, and a business event that was supposed to help me get to the next level in my business. And I did, because that's what I freaking do. I deliver. But day one, first speech, I found myself crying. Because my coach had shared an emotional story, and it was what I needed to hear about his journey and the anger that he used to have and the changes that he's actually made and where he operates from now. And I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that because I was still operating from proving everybody else wrong, from having anger towards my ex-wife, having anger towards the department that fucked me over because this, having anger towards the military because of all the buddies that I had lost. And I have healed from it. I have done hypnotherapy. I have journaled. I have continued to forgive and let go. I have worked on actually repairing the relationship with my ex-wife. I have worked on repairing the relationship with myself by having the hard conversations that people don't want to have. By allowing myself to fucking love myself. I wake up every day, like I said, and I tell myself, I love myself, even when I'm sick, even when things go wrong, even when things aren't perfect, because they never will be. But I love myself. And you should love yourself too. So my why has changed. And I wrote this down today. Find out why. Find my why. Like, why the fuck am I here? What do I want to do in this world? And this is what I wrote down. I want to inspire the world. I want to help save veterans from themselves. I want to show them that it is possible to live a life out here and succeed in society after service. I want to be an example. I want to take care of my parents. I want to take care of my parents. And when I say that, I mean take care of them. I mean retire them, put them on a beach house somewhere. I want to never say no to my kids. I want to give them the life that I wish I would have had. And I want to show my son that he is capable of doing everything, because he will have things that are going to be harder for him. But if I work on myself now, every day that I pour into me, it's another day that I get on this planet to be there with him. It's another day that I get to be on this planet and show him what it means to work hard at the thing that matters most to you. I want to be a 10 so I can attract a 10 for a wife one day. I want to have the life I only ever saw in the movies. I want to be a living example of what is possible. I want to be on stage one day speaking in front of thousands of people. I want to be a millionaire. And that's the first time I say that sentence out loud on this podcast or anywhere. Because for the longest, there was some shame in that statement. There is no shame now. I want to be a millionaire. I want to make an impact, not just in the lives of veterans, but in the lives of the people directly around me, my family, my kids. I want to be the generational change. And I want to make a difference. You can do both. I want to show my son the best example of what a man can be. You have to keep finding your why. Your why is like a fire in the woods that is trying to keep you warm. And every day that you don't add another log to that fire, every day that you refuse to make your why larger, it will start to slowly burn out. So you have to keep adding fuel to that fire. Keep adding fuel to that fire. This definitely feels different. This whole podcast setup feels different. I feel like I'm actually more, what's the word? I feel more present. And I love that word. You should feel present in everything that you do. I'm not by my computer being distracted with notifications. I'm in a different room, different environment. The podcast setup is freaking awesome. We're going to get some more stuff for the walls, but it's beautiful. I love it. And I'm not going anywhere. This past year has been the most transformative year of my life. It has revealed what is important to me. It's not the alcohol. It's not the friends that want to complain about the world. It's not the material stuff. It's not the sleeping with women just to sleep with women. It's not the house. It's me. It's doing what helps me in life. It's being the best version of me so I attract the right partner one day. It's putting myself out there so I keep failing and getting back up and doing it. We just hired our 5th employee. Every single time that we hire somebody or that we grow in our company, we grow with our clients. Because it allows me to pour into them in a much faster system than before because I no longer am tied down to the things that were not moving the needle for me. I've bought back my time. I don't spend money on alcohol or fancy cars or other stuff that right now I don't need or want. Now I will one day, and I have a dream car that I want to buy myself one day. And the thing is, I know that I will, you see? It's not about, oh no, that's not something that's in the cards for me. No, fuck no. It is in the cards for me, just not right now. It will be. I know that it will be. 2026, baby. But right now, my money goes towards people making my life easier so that I can do stuff like this. I can be present with my kids. I can deliver to my clients. I can work out at my own pace in my own gym when I want. And I can say no to things. And I pour into these areas by making my life easier, by having someone that helps me with the house, by hiring someone to mow the lawn for me. Because it doesn't cost me a lot of money in the long run when you think about all the time that I'm saving that I can do this, which is what I love. Create the life that you want for yourself. Look at your budget and identify where you are wasting money and wasting energy. And like I said, I'm going to devote myself to doing this once a week and pouring into you guys and giving you longer episodes and giving you more to listen to and sharing more. But the only way that I can do that is if I know that you guys are getting value from this or reaching out to me. Not because I need the validation. Hell no. I love who I am. But because I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you want me to talk about. I want to know what hit hard for you. What's working for you. And if you shoot me a message on social media, I will reply. I will reply. It might take me a while. I have a lot of messages, but I will reply. So we are halfway through the year. And it's been an amazing year. And it's not that I don't care about what you've done. It's not that your past shouldn't matter. But it's that I am so much more excited about what you are going to do than what you've done before. And that's why I'm so excited of what I am going to do for the rest of this year than what I've done in the past. In August, we're going to be hosting our very first in-person event with all of our clients. And that's a dream. I never thought that I'd be able to do that. And now we're going to do our very first event. And we're going to do another one next year, every year. And I'm so pumped to be able to deliver and give value and pour into my clients come August because they're going to fly out here to Chicago and we're going to have the best event that they could ever imagine. It will change their lives. And it will change mine too. So, if you want more of this, if you want to get into the program, the link is in my bio, or you can shoot me a message. I can tell you more about what we do at VetRise Academy. But at the end of the day, these episodes will not stop. They are standalone as far as what I am doing. This is the VetRise podcast because I want veterans to rise. I want you guys to do better. And I want you to believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. That's it. It really is that simple. That's all I'm trying to do. I want you to believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. So again, thank you for your time. Do the assessment. Look at your numbers and decide which one you are going to go all in on for this small season. And keep evolving and keep growing your why. Remind yourself of your why every single day. Write yourself a letter of where you want to be in a year. Record that letter on a video and send it to yourself so you see it constantly. Devotion doesn't happen just by telling yourself what's important to you. Devotion happens every day. It is an exercise that needs to be practiced and repeated on a day-to-day basis to keep you in alignment with your goals. So that when you wake up in the morning, you understand why you're doing it. So that when you go to the gym, you understand why it's important. So that when you say no to your buddy that wants to have a drink, you understand why you're doing it. Have a visual reminder somewhere in your house where you see it on a day-to-day basis. There's no rules to this. But upstairs, right outside my bedroom, is a big white piece of paper with red letters written on it. And what it says is that every time that I fail myself, I am failing my son. Every time that I miss, I make his life harder. And you see, the why isn't just I'm doing this for my son. I'm doing this so I don't fail myself. And I will. I'll have hard days. I will miss. But they will be less and less frequent if I remember why I can't. Thank you guys for your time. If this episode was enjoyable and you want to hear more longer episodes, do me a favor and rate and review the podcast or send me a message on social media. And I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys being here. I know you could be listening to something else, or Tony Robbins or Jocko Willink, but you're listening to me, and it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't go unnoticed. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I love you. You are amazing, and I want you to believe that. Say it with me. Ready? Here we go. Repeat after me. I love myself. I am alive. I get to breathe this fresh air. I feel the blood pumping in my heart. And I love myself. I love myself. All right, guys. That's it. Share this with somebody who needs to hear this message. Bye. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Vet Rise podcast. If today's episode inspired you, made you think, or simply gave you hope, I have a small favor to ask. Share it with just one veteran or someone you think could benefit from my message. Your share could light a spark for them. You don't know who you might save. For more insights and to join our mission, follow my socials at JP the Veteran Coach and explore how we can rise together. Thank you for joining us, for being part of this journey, and for believing in the power of rising together. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep rising, and never forget that we are stronger together. My name is Juan Perez, and thank you for your time.